welcome to Ceruleum Reactor, the podcast about nothing, but also everything. But mostly nothing. I'm Lukiel. I'm joined by Georgi, Mela, and Rollo. Today, I still don't know how to start this episode. To be fair, we've only had one episode before, which most of you have not ever seen. So for a lot of you, this will be the first episode of Ceruleum Reactor ever. So we'll try to be good. Not a great start. So we'll... so far, not doing so well. So today, we'll be talking about what we've played and then some of the stuff that's happened in the news, in the gaming news. We'll start, I guess, with our monthly recap. Maybe...
Go to Rollo first. He has the most stuff.
Yeah,
Rollo.
Rollo!
I have 5 things on there. Not even that many.
I thought, okay. Everyone else has 2 things. Rollo had to just slap in
3
5.
things.
No. 2 things and a movie/TV thing. That's what we have, Rollo. You have... Okay, you just go. What do you want to bring up?
I played Daemon X Machina. It came out on PC last year. And before that, it came on the Switch. It's that little mech game. I think it's made by some former developers of Armored Core. I think something like that.
Mm-hmm. Or sounds familiar.
It's some mech guy, I think. But it was a very good game on the Switch. It was very nice. If you're into mech customization, like Armored Core or Steel Lancer Arena International or Phantom Crash, I think. It's just that.
You just named a bunch of games that I don't recognize.
I loved Armored Core.
Oh, he knows.
I know Armored Core. Yeah. I know that one.
That's it.
But it's like the thing where it's like you pick up your parts and you put the sword in one hand and you put the shoulder cannon.
Yeah.
And you flame. It's real fun. The story's bad. I don't know what's happening. I couldn't tell you what's happening. I just know I get in the robot and then I kill people sometimes. But my robot looks real cool. I can tell you that.
Okay.
It runs real nice on PC. It runs 30 FPS on the Switch, which is okay. But I recommend it. It doesn't ever go on sale on PC though. So it did one time during the holiday season. So. If you miss those armored mech games, give it a shot. It's not as good as them, but it is pretty darn close.
Okay.
Very nice. Can you have those in Armored Core? You could have those weird spider legs.
Oh, like the tank treads kind of.
Yeah, and it had loads of different weird legs you could have.
I think they're all bipeds, unfortunately.
Oh, come on.
I still have a lot to play, but I think from all the ones I've seen, they're just bipeds.
That's no fun.
Georgi, what have you played?
One of the games that I've played... I've been playing old games. One of the games I played in the last month was Super Mario Galaxy 1 as part of that... what is it called? Super Mario 3D All-Stars?
Oh, yes.
The compilation was called? Yeah, I played it in that.
Terrible name.
Terrible?
Terrible name.
Oh yeah, it is
That's
a terrible
long name.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were saying Super Mario Galaxy is terrible. I was very upset with you for a second.
No, it's pretty good.
Super Mario Galaxy is a very, very good game. It is much shorter than I remember. I finished it in about 15 hours.
Okay.
Really? Maybe 2 was a longer one then.
2 is definitely longer, but I thought 1 was long. I mean, I'm older now. I'm better at video games.
That's why.
So maybe that's why. But everyone I talk to says that they get worse at video games as they get older.
What? Worse at video games that are new. This is an old game made for a younger demographic.
An old game made for a younger demographic.
Yeah, because we were old, but when we were young, this was targeted to us, children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, as much as Mario games are targeted at a younger demographic, there's no way that they're beating some of these games 100%.
Was one the one that had a Luigi mode, or is that 2?
Yeah, both of them have a Luigi mode.
Both of them have.
Number 1 is the one that has Luigi's purple coins, which is the notoriously most difficult mission in the game. And I completed it without dying once, which was really underwhelming, considering I remember dying many times when I was a kid. I remember going from like 99 lives to like 30. But it's a good game. It still has one of the worst power-ups they've ever added to a Mario game, which is the spring mushroom. Controls like ass. I hate it.
Yeah.
But overall, very good game. I would recommend anyone to go back and play it if they have not yet.
Because isn't this a limited release? Isn't that like a cutoff point when they stop selling it? Isn't it in March?
It is a limited release. I can't remember. It might be March.
Yeah, I believe
I suspect,
March.
Knowing the way that Nintendo releases things, that once the limited edition period of having them in one game, in one like cartridge is over, they're going to release all three separately and
maybe
individually or as digital downloads.
Possible, yeah. Get Super Mario All-Star while you can. All-Stars 3D, that's the full title?
Something like that.
Yeah, I think they end in March. I'm pretty sure. I should probably get it too. I just haven't turned on my Switch since the last time I played Animal Crossing, which I believe was autumn last year.
Oh, your island is gonna be so many weeds.
No, it wasn't even autumn. It was summer.
You didn't even do the firework event, I don't think.
No. Haven't done anything since summer. And right, next, I guess Mela, maybe you should save the first one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, obviously, a lot of people who watch us are probably aware of the game Hades, which everyone knows is a very popular and good roguelike game.
Yeah.
But the greatest roguelike ever created is The Binding of Isaac. It's so pure, so beautiful. It's such a good game, and I can't recommend it enough.
Right.
Then they say the final expansion, Repentance, is coming out in March this year, and it looks like a really huge DLC piece of content for the game. So I've been trying to 100% my achievements on it before then, if possible, trying to do all the challenges, finish all the stuff with the trash characters like Lilith, and Apollyon, which they suck, and doing the rubbish greedier mode, which is really hard and annoying to do. But yeah, I don't know. Isaac's just, it's just so good. You can just pick it up and play it for a run, and I don't know, it's just such a good game. I love Binding of Isaac, and you should all play it.
I can't get over the doo-doo.
Really?
Is that
I
you
hate
can't
the art.
get over the doo-doo?
I hate the art style so much. I think it's so ugly, and I don't like looking at it for an extended period of time.
The original game had a flash art style which was ugly, but Rebirth has a really nice pixel art style. It's really good, and the DLC adds loads of nice like reflections in the water and stuff. It's going to be very pretty.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I'll talk about Rust just a quick, because we were supposed to talk about it in the previous episode, which no one saw, other than patrons, because we played on a Rust server a while back. We were gonna do something with that, so something interesting has happened though, because when we started doing Rust, when I say it was me and Mela. Rollo was there too. I never actually saw Rollo in game. Mela did.
I met him and drove him around a bit.
Yeah,
we had fun.
Yeah. But when we played it, Rust was Rust. So popularity wise, Rust has just always been there. But there's like a surge in popularity right now for Rust, and I think it's because big streamers are picking it up again.
Is that normal Rust though? Like trolley base building, like default?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's that version of Rust. Yeah. While our version of Rust was supposed to be building a town, and then trying to like maintain it, like have people on it to like expand the town and set up like telephone lines and all that shit.
Yeah.
What actually happened was that we first of all, I will say, I was like, okay, we should probably try to invite more people on this server. And Mela's like, no, we have to find the perfect place for this town. But we never did. Instead, it was just me and Mela in our little house. And Mela had a little, like, there was a quarry in the far north of the map. By the way, this map is the biggest size you could get on Rust. So it's like a solid, like, 10-hour drive to get to the quarry. So 20 minutes for the full experience. What was so funny is that Mela managed to... I think you didn't set up a telephone. I think there was a phone nearby. How did you?
I did eventually set up a telephone in there, but there were ones along the roadside, like emergency telephones along the roadside.
Right. So every now and then, while I was out, like looking at the corn, or because we're growing corn on the roof, I would just hear. And I'm like, oh, I'll go down and I'll be like, hello? And then it's just Mela, and we have like a really awkward phone call, and it's so weird because it's like a real phone call, because you're like, hello, and then there's a slight delay. So we're like always like waiting for the other person, and then Mela's like, yeah, got some rocks, and I'm like, oh, that's lovely. Are you coming home? Oh yeah, and I'm coming home soon. It was really awkward. But Rust is fun. I had to close that server because the place I hosted... Okay, so this is another layer to this fucking mess. Mm-hmm. Getting a Rust server is almost worse than trying to find a Minecraft server. Because Minecraft servers are like, they want to scam you. They want to rip all the money. They want as much money from you as possible. And then that's that. That's fine. Rust is worse because they're like, they want to scam you, and then they don't even have the infrastructure to run a Rust server. So I was like, oh, this is the same host we had for Mundus at some point, which should have been a red flag because we don't use them anymore. And Mundus is our Minecraft server, and so I ordered a Rust server there. That's where Mela and I played. And it used a fucking Minecraft interface to run the Rust server. It had no options for Rust. It was just like, it was a shell, and it just showed me the error logs on a screen. That was it. Turn it on, turn it off, kill. Those are the only options I had for that server.
All you need for a Rust server.
It was awful. I found a new one, but I haven't played on it. Because I'm trying to generate maps, and another problem with Rust, restarting the server takes like 20 minutes.
Oh god, logging in.
20 minutes to restart.
Just logging in takes a long time.
Yeah, logging in takes a while as well, especially if you're the first person to enter the server, because then it has to do all of the asset shit. It's bizarre. Rust is a very unoptimized, weird game. Isn't Rust like an offshoot of... What's the original game?
Gary's
is it
mod.
No, it's not Gary's mod.
It's made by the Gary's mod.
Gary Newman made it, yeah.
Yeah, he made it.
But it's just a Source Engine game though, isn't it?
Well, didn't Rust spring out from another game? It used to have... The original game had zombies, didn't it?
That was still Rust. It was always called Rust.
Oh, it was always Rust?
It used to have dogs and zombies and stuff, yeah.
Right, okay, I see. They only kept the scientists.
Yeah,
which is a bizarre thing. Yeah, I used... So, in the very beginning of this Rust server, I got Rust a long time ago, and then I played on a public server, and they just killed me, and just, they were, the Rust community. I was completely naked, just spawned into this world, and I remember saying, please don't kill me, I just arrived, and they just killed me. They threw rocks at me until I died. It was horrible. Yeah, so when I came in, I knew nothing about Rust. I still technically don't, because all I did was stay in the house. But there was like this scientist guy walking around, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill him. And then I killed him. And then I'm like, he's a scientist. Did I make a mistake? He's probably nice, right? So I kept trying to, every time I saw a scientist, I wanted to stop and like figure out what they did. But cars in Rust difficult to break sometimes. And more often than not, I just run them over. But then, one crucial night, which is terrifying in Rust because it gets really fucking dark, and there's wolves, I saw a scientist, and I had very low health. Ran over, and he killed me.
Yeah. They attack you. That's why I tried to stop for one once.
And you lose everything.
He started unleashing hellfire on me. And
They're just mean little men in bags.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Will there be a public Speakers Rust server? Maybe after Mundus is dead. We'll see.
Possibly.
Okay. Moving on, Rollo.
I'll just say Mr. Mayor real quick because I don't have a lot to say about it.
Okay.
It's a TV show on Hulu. It has the guy from The Good Place, the old white guy.
Oh, yes.
You guys,
yeah.
he's pretty
The
funny.
guy from Cheers.
Descriptive.
Is he from Cheers too?
Isn't
I
he?
never saw Cheers.
Yeah, I think so. He's fuck, I don't remember his name. Yeah, it's him, but he didn't have gray hair back then, obviously.
It's just him. He becomes like the mayor of like Los Angeles, I think. So someplace in California. And it's like, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing because he's not a real mayor. It's okay.
Okay.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Probably the funniest line because it takes place after COVID, and they're like, we'd like to thank Dolly Parton for buying us all vaccines for California. So that was funny. Do I recommend it? I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's on Hulu if you have time, maybe.
I saw like 5 episodes and I kind of tapped out. I'm like, it's not for me. But aside from that, I found a copy of Xenoblade.
Right.
Or Xenoblade? I've always said Xenoblade. I don't know how to say it. A copy of Walmart for $10. I was like, fuck.
What a bargain.
That's a good deal. There's also Ni no Kuni and the White Witch for like $5 too on the Switch, along with Octopath for $10.
Is it the original Xenoblade?
Yeah, the first one.
Not Chronicles.
Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition for the Switch.
That's a different game.
Well, you know what I mean. The latest version of Xenoblade Chronicles.
Yes.
Okay.
I've been playing lots of that, and you know what? Everyone who said this game was good was right. It's very good. I played X on the Wii U, Xenoblade Chronicles X. It was very good. I like that game a lot. A lot of people don't like that game. Or a lot of Xenoblade fans don't like it.
It's just very different from what people expect from Xenoblade.
Yeah. It is, but it was, I don't know. I thought it was nice.
I think it shouldn't have been marketed the way it was. I don't think it should have been called a Xenoblade game.
Aren't they all like sequels to Xenogears anyway? But they're barely
but if
even.
They could have, but if they wanted to do that, they should have called it something Xeno something else.
Yeah.
I think they should port it to the Wii, to the Switch. I mean, just put X on the Switch already.
Xenoblade X?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been, Xenoblade, been playing that a lot. I got it like yesterday. I put in like 5 hours.
How far are you into it?
Chapter 3, start of chapter 3. So after the big...
Are you at the Great Plains yet?
No, I've not left the city. I've been just cleaning up the quest before I left.
Okay, there's a lot of quests in the city.
There is! This game is like, alright, go pick up this quest, okay? Right? Huh? It's from this one dude, right? He's like, hey, wait a minute. I got 5 more quests. And they don't tell you. You have to wait, and then it's like, okay, I got another quest. Wait. I got one more.
Well, the thing is, it also works on a day-night schedule, so some quests just don't appear at some times of the day. So you have to like be around, because NPCs work on a schedule. Like they will walk around, and they will be in certain places at certain times of the day, and sometimes they just won't be around.
It's fucked up. But I love the quest in it though, because it's as soon as you get the material. instant complete. You don't have to turn it in. You're done. You get the rewards right there, and that's good because there really is a fucking 1,000 bajillion quest. Like in the first town area, whatever, I've at least picked up 40.
It's a massive town.
And then there's like this. This was in Chronicles X too. There's like this charts of people's relationships to each other.
Yeah.
Where it's like this NPC is irritated by this NPC. And I'm like, what does this do for me? Who are these people? It was the same thing in X. I don't know what it's for. I mean, it's neat. I like it's cool to get and see the named NPCs and how they fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they don't all hate each other. Some of them have secret like crushes on the others.
They do.
I feel as if it might come up later in the sense that like there might be quests later on that are like there's an NPC who's like, oh, I want to give someone something, but I'm just too scared. Would you be able to give it to them? But I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Yeah.
Amazing. Combat's good too. It's how it was in X basically. So coming from that was easy. It's just light MMO combat, I would say.
You didn't feel more primitive to you compared to X? Was the gameplay just like very similar?
It's very, very similar. It like, I mean, maybe the mech combat is a bit more. I wouldn't say advanced, but it's like another layer added on top. But the skulls or whatever control basically the same as a player, so it's not. It doesn't feel different. I've not played Chronicle or Xenoblade 2, by the way, so just a heads up. I don't think about 2.
Okay.
It doesn't look good. Sorry.
No, you only think that about Rex.
Rex looks like a little piece of shit. Shulk is cool. I like Shulk.
Shulk is cool.
Yeah.
Thought he was Australian.
He's not.
I thought he was
Every
for a long
voice actor
time.
in Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is British.
Why did you think? Okay.
I don't. Something about Shulk specific. I was like, why is this one Australian guy among a bunch of English-speaking accented people? It was
I don't
very
remember
confusing.
what Shulk sounds like right now, but does he have like an accent?
He's got a particular English accent. I don't know
Okay.
which one it is, but
Right.
I don't know. It stood out to where like it sounded Australian to me.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I like it a lot. I'm gonna play a lot more. If you're in North America, check your WalMarts because they're still having those clearance deals for Xenoblade, Octopath, Ni no Kuni, and some 3DS games too. If you feel like doing that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's my Deal Hunter tip for you.
Okay. Well, Rollo,
Chronicles is a very good game. I need to go back and actually play it.
Yeah, I have always wanted to play Scene. I know a lot about it, but I've never played it. So, yeah, it's one of those games for me. Yeah.
If you like 12,
yeah.
if you might like Xenoblade, I would say.
Really?
I don't think you could stream it. I think it's way too long.
Possibly, yeah. I feel like that's like, yeah.
And that's
probably.
Xenoblade Chronicles the Switch
Definitive
one.
Edition.
Yeah.
It's only like
Actually-
£28 on Amazon. It's cheap.
I actually also bought the I bought the original Wii version of Xenoblade Chronicles because it came in a pack. Like there was like a deal for it at GameStop like years ago, where you get the trilogy version of Metroid, the Prime series, and you could also get the Chronicles one. I was like, oh cool, these games are rare and hard to get. I'll play them eventually. I never did, but I have it.
That's very similar to what I did. I bought, when they released them on the Wii U as digital downloads, when they finally started releasing Wii games on the Wii U, I downloaded both Metroid Prime Trilogy and Xenoblade Chronicles. I played about 5 hours of Metroid Prime 1, and then about 10 to 15 hours of Chronicles. I never touched either of them again. And I bought a whole external hard drive to download these games.
Okay, well, we need to move quicker through this, but so Rollo, you have 2 more games, so we might as well just get through them.
Okay, I can say them real quick. I've been playing FF12 too. I've played lots of tactics. My friend gave it to me. What am I going to do? Not play it?
Yeah, which friend?
My friend MJ. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, MJ.
Thank you for fucking it up. No,
Yeah.
just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, I played FF12. I played a lot of Tactics, and I played Tactics Advanced, so I know
What are
that
you
part of it at
playing
least.
Tactics on?
I'm playing on my phone.
Okay. So you, okay.
Well, I mean, recently I played on my phone. Originally, I did play it on like the PSP.
Right.
Okay.
It's terrible fucking slowdowns though. It was so shit.
Oh.
It has a bug where if you cast spells, like the animation just slows down a lot.
Oh no. Okay.
There's a patch for it.
All
But
right.
yeah. So playing FF12, I like it a lot too. It's very non-traditional Final Fantasy, and
yeah.
the combat is weird. It's like I mean, I know people know about 12, but I think it's cool that you kind of, I guess, program the NPCs, like your
Yes.
party members. That's
See-
like a neat feature.
See, that's a really interesting part because a lot of people, when we announced that we were playing 12, a lot of people were like, the fucking Gambit system. I've always found the Gambit system to be an intriguing part of the game because you can program your NPC, your party members. You can even program your own character. So I think that's a cool idea, and it's weird that it wasn't really, they didn't really develop it any further in other games.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
It's weird though, because I mean, from a modern perspective, again, having not played 12, it feels like I'm playing like almost an auto battler game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like after I've programmed everything, I'm like, okay, no one's dying, everyone's using the skills I want them to do. In general, I'm just moving the stick towards enemies.
Yeah.
And then they do their thing, and I like doing that. And sometimes I intervene and cast a spell or two. But it's cool. The art is really nice. I like the Yoshida art style. This is one of the few styles with Yoshida where he actually draws noses, so it's fucked up.
Yes. True.
It's fucked up.
True.
It looks good, but what they do when they put a gun to his head.
The only thing I don't like is the artwork of Vaughn in the character screen. Too much nipple. Too much nipple on Vaughn in the character screen. I don't like seeing Vaughn's nipple when I open the character screen. But other than that, it's fine.
I'll have to.
Yeah.
I'll think about that next time I open up the menu.
Yeah, think about that. And just stare into it. Stare into the nipple, because it's in the center of that artwork. It is there, and it is unblinking. The unblinking eye of Sauron.
Real quick, how do you feel?
A shirt on the child.
Yes, they did. Yes, thank you,
How do you feel about Vaughn? Because I know I've heard people hate him, but he seems like he's
He's a
okay
child.
JRPG protagonist.
He is very
He's like
that.
an actual 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh,
like no reaction he's had so far seems like out of line or out of
I will
character.
say spoilers for 12, but this is the point where we're at, and we're behind Rollo, so I'm not spoiling anything. But when we meet Bosch in that dungeon, in the cage, and the judge has literally just left the room, and Vaughn just jumps the cage and screams.
The little
What a
fucking monkey
fucking
bar
idiot!
shake.
Of course they'll be rushing back. That's stuff like that is very Vaughn, but it's not as bad as I remember him so far. That's the only thing I can really think of.
As someone having their first experience of Vaughn, I'm not bothered by him personally.
Yeah, he fits the cast. I've heard people say he sticks out like a sore thumb, but
He might stick out more later in the game if I remember correctly, but I don't know. It's been a while. Maybe I just never liked Vaughn when I was younger, and then I just decided I didn't like him. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Move on, Rollo.
Also did the Monster Hunter Rise demo. It's more Monster Hunter. If you liked World, you'll like Rise, except it has a lower frame rate. So if you're bothered by it, like I am, sort of, maybe
that sounds
a lower
that sounds
frame
rubbish.
rate.
Well, yeah, because it's at 30.
But why does it have a lower frame rate?
Because it's on the Switch.
Oh, okay.
Fucking what?
I mean, it plays fine enough. I prefer 60, especially for an action game.
Well,
But
yeah.
I swear, Switch is such a blessing and a curse at the same time. Like, it's like, oh yes, I love the Switch and all like these Switch exclusive games, but all the games that are then forced to port over to Switch always have to like sacrifice something. Looking at you, Melody of... Oh, we should have talked about Melody of Memory in this. Oh, well, next episode, we'll give our post-mortem on a Melody of Memory. Yeah, okay.
I'm not an expert in Monster Hunter. I've played like 70 hours of World, a little bit of Try, some of the other ones on the 3DS. I'll probably pick this one up later. I don't get super hard like into G rank stuff just because I get tired of it pretty quickly. But I like the Silk Art stuff. You can like zoom across the map, like with web slinging, basically.
Okay.
And there's a lot of verticality too, which they've been doing a lot in recent Monster Hunters, which is nice. So yeah, if you like Monster Hunter, you'll like this.
Okay. I have like nothing to say about Monster Hunter because I fell off so early on that.
You didn't even get to a hunt. You played World.
No.
You
Bad
did the
combat.
story.
Bad
I
combat.
guess I did. Yeah, I don't remember what I did. Well, we did. I gave it a couple of tries.
We never even got to a multiplayer session together.
We
No,
did.
we didn't.
Did we? No, because we had to do the story part first.
Oh, but I
Yeah.
did it with
Got together.
someone, didn't I? I feel like I did the hunts
so.
with
I
someone.
don't think
Maybe I did
so.
it off stream. No, I have a
Maybe.
vivid memory of doing it with someone, but I don't. I guess none of you. Interesting, because I remember we were on that like the multiplayer hub area,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't do a
Yeah.
hunt.
I don't think so. Because you have to unlock it after the...
You have to pretty much
First
finish
story
the
beats.
story, don't you?
Oh no,
I
really?
mean, not
No,
really. You have
because
to-
I
you have to do the
remember
intro part.
you started a quest and you were like in like a camp area, and then I would wait for you, and then we definitely did hunts together, right?
No.
No, I
Maybe
don't remember
one
watching
of
this.
Really? That's odd. If anyone
I
remembers
really wanted to love that game.
the Monster Hunter World streams, let me know, because I must
It's
have.
like one stream.
No, we had multiple.
No way.
Was it?
Yes.
No, you had. I mean, you might have had multiple, but it was not more than 3.
No, not more than 3, but that's multiple in my humble
Okay.
onion.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it is. That's more than
I know it is.
a couple. It's 3.
I feel as if it might have only been 2.
Because I remember it was patched and we got back and we played it for many hours. It's back when streams lasted a long time.
I
Yes.
think you played it for many hours.
Genuinely don't remember that, but
What has happened to you? What is wrong with you? We would
Here's
never.
the thing. Is it us? Or is
No,
it
because
the other one out
I
here?
remember playing with people in our community even that joined hunts.
I do remember
That
playing
was
with
OP
people.
and carried me through hunts.
I do remember
Ah.
you playing with people that aren't Rollo or Mailer.
I mean, I've got 2 hours in the game.
So
I
okay,
doubt it
so
was
that's
with
what
me.
happened then. So I streamed alone then, probably.
Okay,
Monster
that
Hunter.
must have been it. Because I remember
Because I
us
know
doing
I have.
it,
I mean,
and
do I?
you just
Is that on
bounced right
Steam?
off of it. Yeah, it's
Because
on
I have
Steam.
my
Yeah.
playtime on there, and that's stream only time.
It's worth noting
so
that Monster Hunter World has £444 worth of DLC.
oh my, I have
It's a lot for a-
7.2 hours in this game.
Oh, that's not...
Even
Yeah, but that's
not
all
that
stream
much.
time. That's all stream
That's
time.
two. That's 2 streams.
Yeah.
worth of stream
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, I just could never get into it. I just didn't like the combat. It was too slow.
You might just pick the wrong weapon, honestly.
Possibly,
Oh, God,
I
the
tried
fucking
them all,
weapon
but
stuff.
I really wanted to like that game a lot.
Mm.
I just couldn't get into
See,
it.
Hunters United complete a quest via multiplayer. Yeah, so I definitely did all the
Alright,
multiplayer
alright.
stuff. Yeah, I just want to set the
Okay.
record straight because you're all denying it. I feel like I'm going crazy.
I'm
I
gaslighting
was just
you.
saying that you didn't play with the other 2 here.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
I'm pretty sure I see us running Mela, but maybe I've just put you in there because we were playing multiplayer with someone else and I just expected you to be there.
I've got 2 achievements. Earn the right to take on 2-star assignments and escape the Jagras pack by hiding in some shrubs. So definitely
Okay.
one.
That's like a beginner quest. I
Yeah.
don't think you ever.
Yeah, you didn't. You definitely didn't. Well, you hated it the most out of all of
I
us.
really didn't like it.
Yeah.
it was-
Okay. Right, Georgi. Sonic.
I also, I also played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Yeah, live and learn.
It's it's a very funny game.
Yeah.
It's a very funny game with very flawed but enjoyable gameplay. Although there are quite often times where I feel like I do the right thing and I get killed for it, so that's upsetting.
Yeah.
I don't really know what else to say about it. It's,
Tell me
It's
your
Sonic
favorite-
Adventure 2.
Tell me your favorite
I'm
quote
very-
from it.
I'm very nostalgic for my favorite quote from it.
Yeah.
That's a very difficult question.
Yeah.
But if I was to pick one, it would be this. It would be the stupid dialogue between Sonic and Shadow the first time they first met.
Ah.
When Sonic's like, "The military has mistaken me for the likes of you."
You don't you like the ending, the dialogue they have between each other at the end, where it's like, I'm just a guy who likes to have fun or whatever.
And he's like, "What
Something
you see
really
is
dumb.
what you get. I'm just a guy that loves adventure."
Sad. What a
Bad.
it's such a horrible. It's
Poor
Sonic.
Sonic.
It's just Okay.
Good game.
I like the part where Eggman tricks Tails, and then Eggman's like, "You just told me, Fox Boy." Because he does the thing where he's like, "That's not the real Emerald." And then Tails is like, "How did you know that?" "Because you just told me."
Oh, wow.
It's very
Clever.
sitcom-esque. It's not. It's at a very important moment in the game, and it feels way too comedic for the amount of drama that is occurring.
Uh-huh.
I like also when Amy screams because Sonic died. That's funny.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't remember that bit.
Okay, right. Next mailer. Okay, so we essentially have the same story for this one, but
Can I just talk about my last one so that you guys can spend more time on Cyberpunk?
oh yeah, sure, we can finish that. Yeah, go on.
There's not much to say about Jeopardy. Obviously, it's like well known at this point that Alex Trebek has passed away.
Yeah.
So they have started releasing the episodes hosted by Ken Jennings, who depending on how much you know about Jeopardy, he is the person with the longest running winning streak on the show. At I think it's 73 episodes. He recently won the GOAT tournament. I don't know if I'd call it a tournament because it was just him, Brad Rutter, and what's the other guy's name? The new one. The one that everyone thinks is charming.
Wait, hold on. It's been a while since I watched Jeopardy. Is it always the same contestants?
No, it's not always the same contestants, but very recently, the Ken Jennings, Brad Rutter, and the other guy that I can't remember the name of, which is really frustrating, are currently being considered the 3 best of all time.
Oh.
So around mid last year, maybe a bit earlier actually. I can't remember. Last year is a blur. They had a greatest of all time match where there was it was a best of 5 games between these 3 people, and then Ken Jennings was the one 3-1-0, I think.
Oh,
I think
okay.
was the final score. So, but it's not always the same people.
Right,
They do
okay.
often bring people back for things like the Tournament of Champions every year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Ken Jennings, he's not Alex Trebek, but hopefully he will grow into this role.
Yeah.
It wasn't as awkward a transition as I thought it would be. I am curious as to how some of these other people that they have set to host will take on the show that don't have as much association with the show.
So this not like a permanent host?
They're testing out hosts.
Okay, I see.
And then they will decide who will be the permanent host at the end. I would be more than happy if they stuck with Ken Jennings.
Yeah.
But we'll see how the others go. I know that one of the other ones is Mayim Bialik,
Oh,
which I think is a curious choice. I'm going to be intrigued to watch
yeah.
her episodes.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. Jeopardy. Right. Cyberpunk.
I haven't seen Jeopardy in a while.
What did you say, Rollo?
I haven't seen Jeopardy in a while.
I haven't
that's all
seen
I can say.
Jeopardy since it was in 4x3. So
Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
long time ago.
it's a long time ago. Yeah.
Didn't do well here, I don't think. It's not.
No, it didn't do it. We had a Norwegian Jeopardy, and I think that's the last time. No, the last one I saw was the English one, because our Norwegian Jeopardy was like maybe 4 seasons, and they're like, "Fuck it, let's just import the American one," and that's always good.
I don't think Jeopardy has ever done very well in any other country when they tried to make their own version of it. I think America is the only place that has ever really been successful. Though, something that most people don't know about is, I believe, anyone can go on the American version. There's no restrictions based on citizenship. They often have Canadian citizens, and I believe you can go on. If you wanted to, you could try and get onto it
Let's
from
do it.
wherever in the world you are.
Interesting.
Oh.
Interesting.
They won't pay for your ticket, so
No.
if you want to go on the show, you will need to be able to pay your own way to LA.
Yeah,
We'll already be going for something. It's fine.
And if you come third, you only get $1,000. That will not compensate you the amount of money
No.
that it takes to get there and back.
What's the first? What's the prize? The first place.
Okay, third is 1,000. Second is 2,000. First, you get whatever prize money.
Right.
So
You
I
I
get the
remember
amount
the
of money
scoring
that you
system.
win.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Cyberpunk then.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Mela and I are the only two here that have actually played it.
Did you guys get it like pre-ordered?
I pre-ordered it.
Like,
I pre-ordered it too.
oh,
So, Mela, do you want to... Because I feel like you've had a more decent experience with...
Very positive experience of Cyberpunk 2077.
Uh-huh.
Very... Oh, what a
Was it-
game.
Yeah, I think we could say that, yeah, that's true. It is quite a unique game,
It's
it feels
fantastic.
like.
Yeah, it's got bugs and all that, and that's expected. And after all the stuff about the mismanagement of the project came out, you can understand why. But at its core, it's incredible. The world is massive, and it looks so good, and it looks better than the E3 demos. It's only looked better over time. The ray tracing is incredible. The world it runs so well on PC hardware. Let's just put that in there.
Yeah.
high-end PC hardware.
Yeah.
Okay.
Layla is one of the people is probably the person I've heard that is the highest on this game.
So Mela has had a positive experience, but I think that Mela is more... there's a key word that Mela used here, ray tracing. I think Mela is more wowed by the visual fidelity of ray tracing, that it sort of makes all the other stuff easier to ignore. Because my fucking Christ on a stick, this game is buggy as all hells. When I started this game, I couldn't believe what was happening. I was sitting... First of all, so it starts with you looking in a mirror. And I looked... This is how the game start. Well, it depends on...
What route did you take? I went Corpo.
No, I wanted to start as far away.
Corpo.
Yeah, I was one of the what are the nomads? I wanted to be outside.
Okay. All right.
Because I wanted to have the experience of driving into the city. Because I knew if I started Corpo, I'd be in the city, right? So yeah. So you start in a mirror. You're looking into a mirror, and it's like the character that you've made. By the way, that character creator is not the same as the more earlier previews. It didn't have the same depth, the RPG depth that they first advertised. You only pick your background and that's it. But originally, you could pick how your parents died or how all that shit could be customized. None of it was in the character creator. I'm like, that will pop up later, right? Because they advertised this, and that was the reason why I wanted it as a real a core RPG game. more, I believe they even said has more RPG elements than The Witcher. So I thought, okay, interesting. I want this game. Anyways, missing from the character creator. Also, everyone has the same skin, so you can like, it's like no matter what you choose, everyone has the same body.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you can see it every time. You see, oh, that's that body. It's my body on that person walking around. It's very odd. Anyways, you start the game. I look into the mirror. My hair is missing. Nothing is loaded in properly on my character. And I'm like, okay, I'll let it slide. Then it pops in. And I'm like, okay, fine. It's fine. I get in the car, and I can see every single bush outside the garage, inside the garage, through the wall. I'm like, that's not right. And then a lot of weird stuff like that happens. So, and then I enter the city, and I'm like, yeah, this is impressive. But why are people walking on the railings? Why are people were walking in weird places? The AI is completely dumb. Like, there's a point where
There's almost no AI.
No, and that's what they advertised. That the people in the city, they had like schedules, they had places they were going to. Not happening. Cars on the road just simply phase out of existence at like certain crossings. Like they just disappear. Like it's so, it feels like early 2000s solutions to open world, where they're like, we need to get rid of these at some point. Like they need to fade out of the world, otherwise, the game will crash. Well, it continued. Like I had there's so many bugs that I've just accidentally gotten myself into. Like there was the reason I stopped playing Cyberpunk was on a very specific day, on a very specific quest. I just about had it. I was in this part of the city that's like South Pacifica or whatever it's called. The
Voodoo Boys.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a pleasure resort for rich people, but then funding was cut or whatever, and then some took over.
Yeah, it's cool.
So it's like a ruined. Well, it's cool until you realize you can't actually explore most of the city. Most of it is cut off, and if you look over the wall, you can see unfinished assets. So it's clear that they just didn't have time to finish that part. So they just put up some walls. But I was in a mall. It's a mission where you're like in a mall and you're supposed to kill some people.
Mission.
Yeah, it's good until you start firing, and then I think it's recoil or whatever pushes you through the wall into an unfinished asset, and you cannot get out.
You've had some pretty bad bugs.
Yes, but that's the game, Mela. I think you have overlooked it. It's like a reskinned. There's a video right now on YouTube, and you should watch it. It's called Oversell, Underdeliver, Cyberpunk 2077 or whatever. It compares.
Is that the Chrome Cat video or whatever?
Yeah, they compare like they show like all of the promises and then what we actually got. Mm-hmm. They even show comparisons to really old games that did everything better than them. Like GTA, for instance, GTA 4 is shown, GTA 3 is shown. Have you noticed, Mela, if you go to the sea and shoot in the water, there is nothing. It's like shooting at the ground. There is no splash. It just sounds like, Pew! That's it. You shoot. In GTA 3, there were splashes. You could throw a grenade in and it made like the whole like, whoosh. If you do that,
I haven't gone to.
If you do that in Cyberpunk 2077, it's like it just disappears into the void and explodes.
Okay, sure, but on the flip side, right, I went for the corpo route. You start off, you're an employee of Arasaka, which that's quite interesting, as you know from the story. Mm-hmm. There were some weird things, like at the start, your boss pours some whiskey and it like makes this weird like tube in the air and then falls in. That's bad, I agree. But you just say, oh, well,
Exactly, that's what
Cyberpunk.
you do initially. You're like, oh, well.
And then, then you go through with the story. There was a part where I was sat and I can say Jackie because he's on in the story
Yeah,
early on.
right.
He's shown in the trailer.
Yeah.
He's eating some noodles, and then the chopsticks started floating in the air.
Yeah.
They're annoying, but then you experience the characters, and almost every single main character in that game is brilliant.
I like
They're
the characters.
such good characters. They're
Yeah.
all just so well made, so well acted. The main story elements are, they're really good scenes.
Mm-hmm.
The side quests, some of them are quite copy and paste, but a lot of them are really cool. I don't know how much I can say about them, but there's a taxi service called Delamain, which is like an AI-driven taxi service, and there's a quest where some of his cars have gone off the grid.
Yeah.
And you have to go and round them up and stuff, and they all have different personalities.
Mm-hmm. So especially
there's all the
one
side
that's
characters.
very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. You have the phone, and you can phone all the NPCs and have additional conversations with them. They text you, and you can reply. It's good.
It's
At
good,
a
but-
core game, it's brilliant.
But Mela,
And there's
compare
so many
it.
good things, but it's
Isn't it
buggy.
just GTA in a futuristic world? If you're really gonna be critical, does it not feel a little like GTA reskinned with like an 80s cyberpunk style? If you take it's
in
more
some
refined in quests. I feel like the quests are deeper than GTA, because in GTA is usually like, oh, let's fuck this guy up. He owes us money. That's
it's more
usually
of an
GTA.
RPG than GTA.
Great impression.
Yeah. But there's also stuff. There's another bug that I saw very early. There was a point where you're in the desert. Have you looked at your shadow, Mela? When you run? Because I'm just
Yeah.
going to send you this picture. I mean, this is a picture, but this is how you run. You run like this in the shadow, because the shadow is literally just your character, and then it's rigged so that you get your hands in front of the camera, and the shadow reflects it. So when you swim like this in the shadow, because they need to have you like see the hands when you swim.
That's good.
Stuff
I
like this
that.
is so bizarre. You
Yeah.
literally run like this. It really immersion breaking.
And the one where you're sleeping in the bed, and people have managed to get the camera out, and you've got like both your hands just like really awkwardly in your face. Yeah.
Yes,
I agree.
Yeah.
That I'm not
It's
going to
stuff
say
like
that.
this, and the reason I'm being so critical to Cyberpunk is that they advertise this as one of the most realistic, groundbreaking, beautiful, never before seen next gen games.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, and it definitely was not.
I mean, this is CD Projekt Red, who have always been held to very high standards, and
Yes.
I will say on this occasion they fell short.
Yes, and
there's ever so slightly becoming another Blizzard, another Activision.
Yes.
They're going in that direction. So
Yes.
I am sad.
We haven't
but-
even mentioned the PS4
Oh, I don't
fiasco,
even.
because every time they
I
showed
just
footage
ignore
from the
that because for
PS4
me it's a
version,
PC game.
it was conveniently the PS4 Pro, and no mention of like the base version of the PS4, but they would always advertise it as just PS4. So when it actually got to PS4 and everyone looked like fucking Nintendo 64 characters, yikes.
Yeah,
I mean, it's bad
that was
when it's pulled from the PlayStation Network, like from the PlayStation Store.
Actually, or
What?
was this a dream?
They pulled it.
What?
No, I think I had a dream.
About
No,
About
I
what?
must have had a dream where it was pulled from other platforms. For a second there, I think I had a
wasn't
dream
it
where it
pulled-
was pulled from Steam
no,
as well.
no, but
But it
Steam
hasn't.
I
allowed.
believe it's only been pulled from the PS4.
But Steam did allow refunds, even though you had played more than
Yeah.
the usual time, because Cyberpunk is a long
Did
game.
you-
And that's fine. They should be financially responsible for that.
Yes.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Do you like the shooty bang bang of it, Lucio? Like, do you actually like?
Yeah. It's.
Oh.
I will say that.
It seemed kind of trite to me, and I was like, I already don't like cyberpunk as a genre.
Well, Cyberpunk has an interesting mechanic with like hacking into like, because everyone has cybernetic things, so you can get an advantage when attacking. You can go stealth if you want and use your hacking skills to like make sure that you're not detected and stuff. It's not just shooting.
I'll say the game is most fun played stealth because you take your time and you have to like hack the cameras and tag all the enemies, and you have different hacks where you can like reboot their optics so they can't see for a bit, or you can like overdrive their brains and they just die.
Yeah. But one
But the
problem I have.
shooty is good still, I think.
Yeah. It's alright. It's
And it's quite fun when you get like a really high level katana or something, because the melee weapons are OP.
Yeah.
So you can really just destroy people.
True.
What a Cyberpunk game can't be one without katanas, of course.
Of course
not.
Of course. Yeah. Deeply flawed game, unfortunately.
Highly recommended from speakers. 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
I'd say wait. There are patches coming.
It. They had a major update recently. They had 1.1.
Yeah, but I will also say it is not the game you thought it was going to be. So
No.
if you thought it was going to be a deeply involved RPG game where, as they said in the trailer, every decision you make has an impact on the story, completely false. That's only the case in the very early stages of the game. The rest, apparently, completely inconsequential. The story has already been written, so you will go down that path regardless of what you do. So apparently,
Seems like you should just wait for a Game of the Year edition or whatever.
yeah.
If you're
a
not
year and a
like
half from
super
now.
keen on playing it, just ignore it for a while. But
Yeah.
if you are, if you can overlook the bugs, and maybe in a few patches time it'll be in a semi-decent state.
Yeah.
The story is solid.
The story is solid. I'll give it that. Yeah.
Did you pick Penis too?
I picked the one with the foreskin still attached.
Okay.
We
I
haven't even
think that's
brought up that part, but remember when they advertised this game as being like, you can do anything in this game and everything will be open to you. Like you don't have to worry about not having enough of that. Literally only like 2 Joy Toys in the entire game right now, right? There's 2
Joy
There's
toys?
2
That's what they call them. That's
There's
the
2
What's
prostitutes.
a joy
prostitutes.
toy?
Yeah.
Oh,
A male and
yeah.
a female. There's 2 romance options for each character. One that's hetero, and one that's homo.
That's that.
So there aren't many and
Yeah.
it's annoying because I've said this before to someone. I think it might have been Georgi or on his stream or something. But the romance option that I personally wanted to choose, and I spent the whole game with this character, and I built up. I was like, oh, she's really cool. She's great. And then it gets to this part where she invites you somewhere, and you can have the option of saying, "What is this like a date?" And she goes, "Not my type, Holmes." Which is the lesbian option.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
got
do
rejected,
love
and then the
that.
straight option doesn't even come into the game until like halfway through. And she's cool. She's a nice character.
I don't
but
even
it just felt
know
rushed.
what the romance options are in this game. I just know that they're slightly disappointing for everyone.
They're
Except for
bizarre.
that
to
one.
genitals too.
Except for the one that they keep putting on all the promo art. Is
Who
that
they put on
the?
the promo?
It's the lady with the.
There's Judy. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the lesbian option,
Yeah.
and then Panam is the straight option.
And the gay option, is that the old man?
There are 2 men. There's River Ward, who's a policeman. He's the
Yeah, he's the guy
female
who
straight option.
Yeah.
You
And
can date a
then-
cop in a cyberpunk game?
Yeah.
Well, he's quite an interesting character. He's like a fallen cop. He's got a
Yeah.
good storyline.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
there's another guy who's an asshole. I think
Yeah.
that's the male gay option.
Yeah, he's like the old guy from the Johnny storyline, I believe. What is his name? Johnny. Johnny. Yes,
Johnny.
Papa.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
How
it's
do
the
you like-
guitarist from their band. I think.
Yeah, so he's like
Kish or
fucking
something.
60 years old. So
Yeah.
How do you like
have fun,
Keanu Reeves
everyone.
in the game? Is
Keanu
is
Reeves has a
funny?
band. Yeah, he's a really good character. Again, Johnny Silverhand's really good.
He is good.
They're all good. They're such good characters.
Character models sometimes, though. I mean, it's Keanu Reeves, so you kind of know what he looks like, and then they can't quite bring him into the game sometimes.
That's
there are
true.
some times where the shaders are so off, he looks like a wax doll, but like a poorly
Yeah.
made one, like a knockoff to Saul's.
But that's unfortunate because it is a real person. The
Yeah.
rest are fine.
Yeah, the rest is fine. Anyways, we've been on this for too long.
Can we talk about the children?
Can we talk about the children?
What children? Oh yeah, there are creepy children everywhere.
Oh, the children are just little tiny
Tiny adults.
Like,
Oh,
they're the tiny adults.
yes.
To be honest, I almost barely register them because they annoy me.
Mm-hmm. That
Can you kill them? I don't think so.
no,
They're genuinely terrifying.
they
They
are.
are really creepy, and
Yeah.
they've got like adult voices, I think, or like
Yeah.
weird voices. Yeah, I don't like them.
There's a
But
lot
yeah.
of again another testament to how fantastic this game is. Also, there's you mentioned the chopsticks, but also every time people eat like chips, there's or fries, the fry moves before the hand. So the fry is in the mouth before the hand. So it's very obvious.
They have fries in that little weird cone cup thing. I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's very
That's
very
right. It's
European.
like,
I don't know.
Oh, that's
Belgium.
true. In this Cyberpunk, I'm not very familiar with Cyberpunk's universe, but I find it very interesting that Europe and America has merged in a way.
Oh
because
yeah, and the money's called
Really?
euro
That's the whole
dollars,
world of Cyberpunk is that Europe and America is like one thing. So they pay in euro dollars.
What?
Yeah.
They call it a
like
euro
that?
dollar?
Yeah.
Disgusting.
And that's
So
it's like a European and also Japanese and American cultures just merge
It's
into
really-
one
it's
weird
nice, though.
mix.
It's a very believable world though, because they've
It
invented
is.
all the
It's a
slang
very-
and stuff, and it's really you
it's
just
a
understand what it
sad-
means.
Scary futuristic world, and that's exactly where we're going in the real
Yeah,
world
exactly.
as well. So yeah,
the euro dollar sounds so cursed.
it does.
It does.
It is,
Yeah.
but then they call it eddies, and it
Yeah, they
sounds
call it
cool.
eddies, which is cool. All right, let's move on. We don't have time to talk about anything else, I'm afraid. Let's just move on to the main stories. The other, I think we need to move on. It's been an hour. Right, so let's. Nicolas Cage, huh? He's back again. So
he's
it's been a long time since anyone announced that Four Nights at Freddy's, that Five Nights at
That's the
Freddy's
prequel.
was getting a movie.
yeah.
See, they said the license for Five Nights at Freddy's has been bought by Warner Brothers, I believe, at some point, and then it was sold to someone else after that. The movie just never came out, and then now, all of a sudden, Nicolas Cage is in this really tacky-looking B movie called Willy's Wonderland. It's essentially a FNAF knockoff movie, like a slasher movie.
There's the twist though.
Yeah, what's the twist?
They
Oh yeah,
so
right. Yeah, go on.
The premise is, first off, is that like I guess Nick Cage is this asshole man or whatever. His car is ruined, and I guess this southern landowner, I don't know. He looks very funny. He
Yeah.
looks like Doug Dimmadome.
Yeah.
Is like, I have to fix your car if you just clean my establishment called Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah.
It's just like, Chuck E. Cheese, Five Nights at Freddy's, animatronic kids playhouse place.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's like, okay. He's supposed to be all gruff and tough.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh man, he's in there with some other teens. And he's like, the teens are like, bro, you're going to be sacrificed. Did you know? And he's like, and he just starts wiping down stuff. He's like, I'm going to clean. And then, the animatronics come to life. This is all in the trailer, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, they're attacking him. And then it says the fucking line. It was like, they're now trapped in here with us. They're trapped in here with him.
Well, is it meant to be a comedy?
Yeah, and then, it shows Nicolas Cage like dismembering and killing the animatronics.
Yeah.
It's
it's a movie. Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage needs that money, and I mean, it looks funny, and I want to watch it just because it's Nicolas Cage.
yeah, like
Yeah. I mean, it's
I'd watch
no blockbuster, but it's an interesting. I mean, some of the effects are very wonky in that trailer, but yeah, looks fun. Willy's Wonderland. When is it out? know
it
that?
is February 12th.
February 12th.
actually.
There you go.
Wow, just in time
That's
for
very
Valentine's.
soon.
Just in
Why
time
did
for
the trailer come out
Valentine's.
so late?
Oh yeah, that's
Not
true.
in theaters too. Get it on whatever streaming platforms.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Yeah. All right. So Ubisoft or Ubisoft, Ubi. Is it Ubi or Ubi? I never.
I say
thought it
Ubi,
was-
It is
I
Ubi.
thought it was Ubisoft.
but they probably say Ubi.
I remember they.
I think
Say
it's
Ubi.
Ubisoft.
Yeah. All right. Because I remember they were like, there's a specific way to pronounce this. They're what country is Ubisoft from again?
French.
France?
French. They would say Ubi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ubisoft. They're making an open world Star Wars game. How do we feel about that?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad it's not just EA making Star Wars games anymore.
Yeah.
Fallen Order was cool. I'm still going through that. Actually, I haven't finished it.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I miss the days of like the late '90s, early 2000s, where like anyone could get a Star Wars game
Yeah.
license.
Yeah.
And you'd be seeing some like weird shit, like the fucking the racer game that's not the Phantom Menace racing game.
Pod race.
That's
Pod
not
Racer.
pod
Not
racing.
Pod race.
Oh.
It's
The one
got
that's
like
it's like
They got, like,
they
big
got
heads.
massive heads. Yeah.
Oh,
it's like
yes.
a kart racer.
Yes. Yes.
I miss the days of that. I miss getting the weird RTS games.
Right.
I-
Yes.
The one that Microsoft made that was like Age of Empires 2.
yes.
That was so good.
Yeah.
Star Wars
It was
Battle
like Battlegrounds? Something.
Battlegrounds?
It's-
Something.
yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah. That was a good game.
Was that another?
That was a really good game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I hope they do something interesting. That's it.
Mm.
If it's just an open, an Ubisoft open world game, in the vein of Far Cry, but maybe I don't know, it's the Mandalorian or something.
Right.
It probably won't be that interesting to me.
Mm.
But I guess they can at least appreciate that it's something different.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
EA's been holding on to that IP for too long. All right. Pokemon Snap trailer is out. April 30th is the release date. Looks like a Pokemon Snap game.
This should have been a launch title for the Wii U.
Yeah.
It should have been on the Wii U, and I
Yeah.
don't understand why they waited till now.
This is
It's
cool.
It's cute.
Did you guys like Pokemon Snap as a child?
Yes. Oh
I
God.
never had
Yes.
an
I have
N64.
such a clear memory of there was a GameStop near where I lived, and they had an N64 display thing, and it had Pokemon Snap on
They
it.
had the printer?
The print. Oh yes, it had. Yes.
Yeah.
But, so I would run down to GameStop every fucking day to play on that console. I eventually got it myself, but just standing there, and I would be like, have I been here for too long? I just need to do one more level. And I just kept doing that. And then I would run away. And then I would be gone for I would wait 15 minutes, maybe to someone else played on it. I would be sneaking around the corner, seeing, okay, someone else is playing on it right now. And then I would run a lap,
Yes.
and then I would come back, and then I would play it again.
Yes, because
yeah.
it's well known that GameStop employees don't have object permits.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So it's nice to see it again. I'll probably get that just for the nostalgia.
Yeah. They're gonna have not gonna have all the Pokemon, by the way. It's 250 something.
Right.
Not the first 250.
No.
There weren't all the Pokemon in the first one either. And
No.
there were only 150 back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, that's fine.
sorry,
Yeah.
National Dex people.
But this is
It's only a Snap game.
it's a Snap game, but it's on the Switch, so it can get updates and DLC or whatever. So
That is true.
yeah.
I wonder how long it will be, because in actuality, the original Pokemon Snap is a very short game. You can
Yes.
finish it in 2 hours.
Yes. Yes.
You know that they said what region this was gonna be in?
It's not set in the main. It's
No.
not set in the region. It's set
Is it
in
like
one
a
of these
safari
fiction-
thing?
Yeah.
It's in
No,
a
yeah, here-
fictional spin-off region.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says the
Because
Len
none of the
Tower
others are
region.
fictional.
Yeah.
They're real.
All right. Next Level Games has been bought up by Nintendo. Next Level Games made Luigi's Mansion 2 and 3? Question mark?
Also,
Did they make
Federation
two?
Force
They did make Federation Force.
Yeah.
They got a
Most
lot of-
loved
they-
game.
That's very unfair. They got a lot of very unfair criticism for Federation Force.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't their idea.
Oh, I see.
It was an okay game too. It was-
It's also not their fault that Nintendo has not made another Metroid game.
Yeah, most recently though,
made-
Luigi's Mansion 3, right? Surely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Luigi's Mansion 2, I think
played
they made
Luigi's
too,
Mansion
but
3.
it's called something else in America.
It's called Luigi's Mansion
Dark
the
Moon.
Dark Moon. I
Yeah,
think.
that's the NA.
Oh, is it
title.
called 2 over there?
It's called 2 here. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there
They
you
also
go.
made Mario Strikers.
Oh.
Iconic.
They did make Mario Strikers, which is a very good game series.
It
is.
And they really need to make a third one.
I like the art in it. It's very
Oh yeah, that
Weird.
One was cool.
Yeah.
Like a weird cell shaded, but like ink cell shaded kind of look.
Yeah.
Well, that's the art style for the like promotional art. In game, it's not quite the same.
Yeah,
Mm.
they did have. Yeah, I liked the the character, like illustrations for that art style.
Mm-hmm.
it was a very how do I say, a bit raunchy game.
It is a
Like,
yeah,
remarkably
I guess.
raunchy Mario game.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Was
I
it
think Daisy
Rosalina
like
or
slaps
Daisy?
her ass
Daisy,
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, she don't slap her ass. She like licks her finger. She taps
Yeah.
it to her ass, and then steam comes off.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
very like, whoa,
Good lord.
you can do that.
Yeah. So now that Nintendo's in control
It
of
is
next
also,
level
I think,
games.
the only Mario game where you're going to be seeing any female Mario character's belly button, which I guess is appealing to some people.
Oh, you know it
Interesting
is.
fact.
That's where the lint comes from.
Oh. What do you think her dress is made of? Okay, so now that next level games is under Nintendo, maybe we'll get more of that. Maybe get more raunchy in his Mario games in the future.
Well, did you know they originally wanted to put Peach in they made Punch Out as well on the Wii. They wanted to make Peach the final boss and not DK.
Yes,
Oh.
I remember that.
Ah.
But they couldn't because who wants to punch Peach in the
Right.
face? That'd be fucked up.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. After that many Mario games of her uselessly getting caught over and over again, maybe
Yeah.
you
Have
want to
this
take your
little tiny-
frustrations out.
Uh-huh.
Have this little Italian man just beat the shit out of Peach.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to infuriating news. Star Citizen. I know. It still exists somehow. It's missed its beta window for Squadrons. Squadron 42?
That's the FPS.
Is it
Squadron 42,
thing.
that's the single player, but yeah.
They... So, for those that don't care or don't know about Star Citizen, it's a game that's been fucking crowdfunded for 10 years now this year. 10 fucking years. They have I think they've 379 million, I think, is what they have crowdfunded this far.
Money.
And they at some point they've made all the most horrible. They're such an I'm scared of saying this because the Star Citizen community is very dangerous. Like, they're scary. Like, remember, these are people that have spent thousands of dollars. They've put thousands of dollars into this game. And if you criticize, they will be coming for your ass. But
Well, I'm going to say this. I think Star Citizen is one of the greatest scams of the modern era.
Yeah.
Here.
Wow.
No, well, so what they did was originally it was going to be an open world game, fully sandbox with planets like as far as the eye can see, and beyond, and with like a player controlled market. It's like everyone's dream. They call it the BFSS, best fucking space sim or whatever. They have like this weird like acronym that they throw around. The problem is, of course, that it's led by a man who has lost his mind. Chris Roberts is in charge
He's
of
the
this.
Elon Musk of the gaming
He
world.
absolutely is, and he was the first when Elon
Whatever.
Musk started coming up, like rising up, and you started seeing him more. I was like, wow, that's Chris Roberts. That's literally him.
Yeah.
And he refuses to release this game until it has reached the standard that he expects. Unfortunately, that standard is unattainable. You cannot get to his required level because he wants every fucking. He's released a star map of like hundreds and thousands of planets that his fucking crew has to design. What? You have to randomly generate them, you fool. No. These are important planets in the lore. They have to be designed. And how many planets after 10 years do we have? 4.
4.
There's another couple decades till you have a
Rollo,
star system.
this game will never be finished. This game will never finish.
We will explore the universe before we can explore Star Citizen.
Yes. So I think their defense right now is that the reason it's being designed now is because we're training the tech. Like, we're training the thing that's supposed to randomly generate.
Yeah.
Like, it will use that as like a blueprint. You have 4 planets. You need way more than that, I think, before you can like claim that it's training. I think that sample size is very low. They obviously what they're doing is that they're keeping their company alive by selling ships for hundreds and in some cases thousands of dollars this is the craziest microtransaction game I have ever seen. Literally, imagine paying over $1,000 for a ship, a digital ship in a game that's still in alpha.
You know what? You guys can't say nothing to me about playing Arknights.
You know, I don't partake in that. Well, I did. So they have. Okay, I have paid for a ship in this game. I have paid for one upgrade once.
How much was it?
$50.
That's more than I spent on Arknights. That's so.
But I paid $10 for the pledge when it was new, like in 2013, 20. I don't remember when I backed this game up originally. No, I paid $5 I think was the minimum pledge amount back then. Now you have to pay $45 for the game. So essentially, I've just paid the price for the game now in total. Mm-hmm. But they have this like really fucking sneaky upgrade system where they're like, "Welcome to the pledge store. I see you have that ship. Kind of shitty. You can upgrade to this, and we'll take the price of that ship off this ship, so you'll only pay another $50. Obviously, in reality, you're adding another $50 to your pledge, and you paid $100.
Yeah.
And also, they're being really fucking sneaky because before you could downgrade your ship. Like, if you wanted a ship that was different but was cost less, you could still get that ship. It will be free. But you would also lose some of the money you paid for the ship. Like, it's worth less than what you paid, but you'd still be able to get it. That doesn't work anymore. So if you lock into a ship that costs a certain amount, sorry, you can only go up from here. You cannot go for any other ship. Then you have to buy a new ship, full price. Star Citizen. It'll drain you. And sometimes they sell ships that you can't even fly. They'll be like, here's the ship. It's $1,500. But you can only have it in your hangar, so you can look at stuff inside it, I guess, if you want, in your hangar. Anyways,
you want to know something funny?
Yeah.
This is here's some Rollo backstory for you.
Oh,
so before I was on speakers, I had my own podcast, and before that, I used to write and make videos for Plant Side 2, like guides.
Right.
You can still find them. Don't look them up. They're very, very bad. But after that, like people kind of fell through that game. The people I was working with, like, hey, like, we're gonna move on to this new game. And I'm like, what's this new game?
No.
And they were like, yeah, we're gonna start writing stuff and making videos for Star Citizen. And I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. And I look at it, and I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know about this. And I left that team.
You're lost for that's 10 years worth of YouTube content.
That's true. The people that banked on making content for Star Citizen, they made the right choice. This game is never going away.
You had
I
a very
couldn't-
stable job.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
couldn't be the guy that's like, actually, Star Citizen is coming soon. Just wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just got my new ship.
Yeah.
Here's my preview.
Yeah, that's literally what they do. But imagine how exciting it is, because every time they get an update, it's massive. Like, I'll give them that. The patches are massive because this game needs every fucking thing. It's bizarre how much shit they put in every time, and yet the game feels so empty when you play it. It's so strange. I will say that it's a good game-ish, but you can't play it yet. Like, it's still in alpha, so your currency doesn't mean anything. You get alpha currency. You can't progress in the game, and they wipe the server every time they add a patch. There is no progression. No progression, and anyways, that's not even what this was about, because what they did, just to be more assholes, is that they... Originally, the game was like, okay, you'll have the persistent universe, sandbox, where you have your life in the universe, and then you have a single-player campaign, which takes place in the same universe, but it's a single-player game, and it has story. There's story in the overworld as well, but it's more like classic MMO story. While this one is more a single-player experience, with it has real actors like Mark Hamill, Gary Oldman,
Luke Skywalker.
Yes, yeah. There's other people that are in the game.
Gary Oldman is going to die before this game comes out.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill
it's
as
in
well,
his name.
actually.
Yeah.
They're both very old.
But then they made a strange decision. They decided to split the single-player campaign off Star Citizen and make it a standalone game that you have to pay for separately. So now you need to buy, renamed it Squadron 42. So now you have to buy Squadron 42 and Star Citizen to get the full experience. 2 separate games. How nice.
Yeah.
And now Squadron 42, which has always been the shadiest of the two, because at some point they were like, we're just gonna remove the roadmap real quick, and then 6 months later, they're like, oh yeah, about that roadmap. We'll give you a roadmap for the roadmap soon, when we'll get the roadmap. So
do you remember that 20-minute in-game video though? That looked amazing. Like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
I really want
5
that game.
years ago. Yeah. Yeah, it's very bizarre. I wonder what the contract for those actors is, because they must be like, didn't I do a video game 10 years ago? Never saw anything of that. All right. Let's move into some Valve news real quick before we wrap up. Gaben is back at it again. He said recently in an interview. What?
I was just going to say, he's out on the interview circuit again.
Yes, he is.
Well, it's tough because he's been in lockdown in New Zealand forever.
Yes, he has.
He's been
God, I
living
wish
there.
that could be me.
He unfortunately.
It's not a bad place to live.
No, it's a
True.
great place.
He's very
They're
safe.
actually-
I
They
imagine
don't
he misses
really have
his
a
family.
lockdown there.
No.
He's able. Well, he probably does miss his family, but he does get to go outside without a mask.
True.
That's true. He's
Family.
living the best life.
Maskless life.
So he's now said that Valve still makes games, and there are games in development right now.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Well,
What is it?
I mean, they did just release Half-Life Alyx last
they
year.
did, and he said,
Yeah.
and he essentially said that after releasing that, they were like, we kind of like this. So and it did really well, and so they're on it, because before Alex, they were like, they cancelled all the fucking games they started on. There's probably been 10 versions of Half-Life 3 that they started on. But now he's saying that it's in development, so it seems like something has changed a little. They've changed their tune a little when it comes to making or developing games.
Remember Artifact? They released that
Yeah,
too.
that was a rubbish game.
that was what, 2019?
The only good thing about Artifact was it was, even buying the game was a gamble, because you got booster packs with buying the game.
Yeah.
That could be worth £100 or could be worth nothing.
It was a pay-to-play fucking card game on the
Yeah.
internet.
The
What
Steam
the fuck were they
market
thinking?
was the trading ground.
Yeah.
Not a bad concept necessarily,
No.
because that meant you could surely just trade, but ugh.
anyways, game's coming from Valve soon. But then he says something else, which is more disturbing. He's very much into brain tech now for video games. Apparently, they're working on developing non-meat peripherals. So
I don't think they phrased it that way.
No.
He did say meat peripherals, but I don't think non-meat peripherals is the alternative.
Well, essentially, he wants video games to affect your brain and then use or manipulate your brain to behave in a way that would work with the game.
Is brain-computer interfaces.
Yes. I can tell you right now that I am not interested at this time. Thank you very much.
Time?
Yeah, at this I would need at this time especially, but I would need to see a lot of scientific evidence that this is not going to fuck me up, because he even talks about it in the article. Like, he talks about being able to change your mood and he said he imagined a future where people would have, this is so, and he said it like as if it was exciting. To me, this sounds dystopian, where we're like, I want to go to sleep. Let's open the sleep app and then go to sleep. I need this much REM sleep and then go to bed and click the button.
That could be perfect,
I mean,
though, as well.
Yeah, but that's makes it sound like we're living in a world where
Think about insomniacs.
Yeah, for them it'll be nice, but the way he described, remember, he talks about a lot of other stuff before he gets to this. It's like, well, people can hack you, and maybe they'll inflict pain on you, and they can, it's like, I don't know if I want this.
I'm gonna initiate the come out.
Yeah. Oh my god, I keep coming. It's.
And they don't stop coming.
I don't.
It's an interesting.
It's an interesting idea. It's probably the next big leap in gaming at some point. But
I think I'm just gonna become a Luddite at this point.
Let's go back to the Stone Age.
Done.
I think this is better than VR because you don't need the amount of space you would need for this compared to VR.
So you're talking about that other aspect where he can literally just the game is in your head. Yeah. That part is, I think. Well, I find that it's more intrusive though, because what if something bad happens in the game? Let's say you've been hacked, which is a thing.
Yeah, and you can't get it off.
And you cannot get it off. It is in your mind, and I don't know
You're
how.
in pain, Georgi. You're on the floor.
Yeah.
Just crying. Yeah. And Gaben's there. He's laughing.
I like the more primitive version of this that he explained. That's already in development. They had this that you connect to your Vive. It's you just snap it on, and it can read your brain. So it'll be like, oh, he's bored right now, and then it turns up the difficulty a little so that you're not bored. It adjusts based on your mood and how you're feeling.
Yeah.
That I am more for. That will give you a more immersive experience. I don't like it when Valve enters my brain. I don't like that idea.
How are you going to click the EULA with your mind?
Yeah.
I'm just waiting until they can start importing ads into my dreams.
Exactly. It'll be it'll be a cyberpunk sad future, but that's where we're going apparently. So
see, every rich person, right? Every one of them, they go to this wheel, right? It's a big wheel, and they spin it, and it's a wheel of cyberpunk futures they want to build towards, right? So they go and then Dan Aykroyd's like, aliens, I'm getting aliens. So he goes crazy about aliens. Gabe got the mind fuck up.
I don't like that.
Well, lucky.
Okay. Well, all right.
Do you like that in the article? It's just his feet are out. He's got his little toes on the show.
I
put that up on
WikiFeet. I was
WikiFeet.
thinking about this the whole time.
Get that up on
WikiFeet. I hated
WikiFeet.
that mailer.
He's so funny.
He is. He's quite the character. Okay, last Valve news. Very strange news. The EU Commission has fined Valve, also Capcom and Bethesda, Capcom and Bethesda has agreed to they've bent the knee for the EU Commission because this is because of geo-blocking, specifically between EU countries, where prices are adjusted based on currency. So a game in, let's think of a place where it would be cheaper. Let's say Ukraine would be cheaper than in the
Europe.
UK, right? Well, that's not EU anymore. Let's say Sweden. According to the EU Commission, that is unfair for the member countries. It's unfair for the Swedes. So they claim that is geo-blocking and has fined them. It wasn't as high as I thought it would be, the fine. I think it's...
It definitely sounds like a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. 7.8 million euros. It's still... Okay, that's okay.
Like pocket money for us, isn't it?
But I feel like for Valve, that's not that much. But the interesting part about this is that they do not agree with this, and they don't accept it. They will just keep doing it. They will not change. So I wonder if this will escalate it. If this goes up
it
to...
will probably escalate until the EU get their way.
Yeah. So...
But
You wanna hear my hot take?
Go on, Rollo.
Yes.
All right. So my hottest take here is that if they do block this, and you can no longer do the price matching thing for regions, that'll be bad for most people.
No, I agree with you there.
I agree. I actually don't agree with the EU Commission on this, because there is a reason they're doing this. It's
because they're definitely not going to lower prices for video games in Sweden.
No.
Or
Everyone will
Germany
have
or
to pay
France.
the top price, and therefore some people will have to spend like 5 months' wages before they can afford a new game, and that's not right.
And I think a nice Ukrainian man isn't going to spend his rubles or his
Well, so rubles, the Ukrainian ruble. I actually don't know what do they have euro? No, they're not part of the EU. Why did we bring up Ukraine? They're not even an EU member state.
Are they not? No. Okay, never mind.
But let's say Romania is
Greece?
Romania. Yeah,
it's actually the Ukrainian hryvnia.
Oh, the hryvnia. I see. I've never heard of that currency in my life. That's the first time I've ever heard that. I'm assuming the EU Commission this would work if everyone had the euro, maybe?
Yes.
But not everyone. Like, again, we brought up Sweden, which is one of the member countries that don't use the euro. Fuck. No. But yes. Well, that's actually a good point, because it shows how flawed this idea is. This would have only worked if every single member of the EU had the euro. Because then that's that. The euro is the euro. But they don't. So it's bad for those countries. Like
it sucks
Romania.
You can't give some of your European friends games, though.
What did you say?
It sucks that you can't give some of your European friends games, though, like on Steam.
Yeah. I can't gift any of you.
You can just not. You have to go about it in a roundabout way.
Yeah, you do.
I don't think everyone having the euro would help, though, because
what is doesn't
the
euro
domestic, like the currency, even if like Romania was getting euros, they might get say 100 euros a month as their wage, whereas Sweden might get 10,000 euros a month.
That's true, actually.
So even then, people still miss out. Basically, Valve are weirdly doing a good thing.
This kind of just feels like classic EU bureaucracy that isn't making much sense in this case, unfortunately.
No. In some cases, this system is good and has brought profit and like prosperity to some European countries that are poorer. But in this case, it's harmful.
Geo-blocking in general is bad, but in this case, I don't think. I think that it's actually for the benefit of those countries.
Yes.
Yes.
If only there's a way we could work around this one.
I don't think it's controversial to say that items should be priced for the economy that they are in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. That's that. Valve is Valve. Valve is Valve.
Valve is Valve.
Make Portal 3 and make it funny.
Cool. More lemon when life gives you lemons.
More lemon?
Isn't that a thing?
Change it to a different fruit
Yeah.
next time.
When life gives you pears,
That's
you
not what
twist.
he says.
All right. Let's wrap up. Thanks for watching Ceruleum Reactor episode 1. Not sure when this is out, but when it's out, as they say.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, maybe.
Happy Valentine's
happy-
Day, everyone. Merry Christmas.
There you go. Merry Christmas, everyone. All right, see you in the next episode, and don't forget to eat your curry. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.